Okay, my house is flooding. Anybody out there? I have my dad on hospice and I need to get him out of here. He's bedridden, he can't walk, he can hardly move, and look where the water is. So somebody please, we've called 911. It's bad over here. In front of the house, it's like a river. I mean, it's like a lake. They can't come look. We've lost our cars, everything. We've lived here for 30 years and this has never happened. So anybody, please, if you have a boat or something, I need help. I need to get my dad out of here. It's starting to smell like sewer in here.
Colorado and California, Texas and Idaho, they all have...
Who will be held responsible if a mistake occurs that results in harm to human life or property damage? Is it fair to say acts of God would become a thing of the past?
Yes. So there are regulations right now throughout most states in America, particularly in the West, that require any weather modification operators have permits or licenses that are approved by the State Department of Natural Resources, the Department of Agriculture, Departments of Water Resources, and in order to get that permit or license, you have to use approved materials, you have to have certified meteorologists on staff, and you also have to have what are called suspension criteria. So if you make it rain or snow more, right, obviously one thing that people would be concerned about is if there were floods or avalanches, and what suspension criteria means is if there's already flood risk because a cloud is already naturally going to precipitate a lot, or if there's burn scars from wildfires that would cause really fast runoff and flooding, or if the soil moisture is already too high for the water to be absorbed into the soil and would cause flooding, or if there's too much snowpack and there's avalanche risk from having any more snow. Even if our customers want more water, we're regulated by the states in which we operate to not continue cloud seeding, to not continue making it rain or snow, to avoid causing any problems like that. And so if we don't adhere to those suspension criteria, then we would be held liable for any damage caused. And I think that's appropriate. I wish the federal government had regulations that enforce that as well, rather than it just being done on a state-by-state basis. Now, with respect to the last part of that question, would that make acts of God a thing of the past? You can't totally manipulate or modify the weather the way that you could the air conditioning in your house at this point in time. It's a super complicated, super energetic system. We'll trend towards more and more of that as time goes on. So right now, if you were to cause flooding, that wouldn't be considered an act of God. You would have caused it. So Colorado and California, Texas and Idaho, they all have weather modification programs that the state funds.
How long have they had those programs?
So cloud seeding was invented in the United States. It's an American technology that was done for the first time in New York in 1946. So the very first effective weather modification operations were done in the 40s, after World War II. Then there have been a series of programs that have popped up either domestically or abroad in the decades in between. But we've never actually been able to prove that it works until 2017.